This is a Yip Strickler, 30 for 30 in under 10 minutes, special presentation. On September 16th, 2024, a Barstool Classic qualifier was held at Pine Needles Golf Club in beautiful Southern Pines, North Carolina. Now, the Barstool Classic, as far as I'm concerned, is the #1 destination for amateur net golfers to compete against each other. And because of its popularity, the tournament seems to be littered with potential sandbagging rats. Despite so many rats to choose from, this case is focused on one team and one team only, that being the team of Ryan Feldman and Taylor Hines. Throughout this video, we are going to be making several pit stops at one of my favorite apps. Chip, I'm pretty sure they already know what it is, but you know where we're going. We're going straight to the game! Heading into the Barstool Classic qualifier, Ryan Feldman was sitting at a comfortable 11.5 handicap index, while his partner Taylor was an 11.9. Both Ryan and Taylor, if they were just playing a regular game of golf at Pine Needles that day, 71.9 course rating, 138 slope, those are the Ross tees, each player would have received 15 golf shots. Now, as we go to the Golf Genius to check out their hole-by-hole scores, we see that Ryan was only getting 8, Taylor was getting 9. That's because Barstool Classic, we take 50% of your handicap, play off the low. That's how this happens, and we see that Ryan shot a 93, good for a net 78. I don't typically get out of bed for net 78s. You did contribute for one hole. Yes, Ryan contributed on one hole throughout the event. Hole number 6, it's the #1 handicap. He was able to shoot a par for a net birdie. That means that Taylor Hines nearly qualified for the Barstool Classic all by himself. Taylor shot a 79, good for a net 64. And to make this even more impressive are the conditions that he did it under. Chip, roll the footage.
Tarps off, boys. Tarps off.
Knock it in.
So now we can clearly see that Taylor Hines, an 11.9 handicap index, fired a 79, good for a net 64 in the middle of a monsoon. To show exactly how impressive this is, I pulled all the scores, players that shot gross 72s to 85s. If you look at their handicap indexes, yes, you're going to see that Taylor was clobbering guys with plus handicaps, going toe-to-toe with them, the scratch players going toe-to-toe. You'll see a bunch of single-digit handicaps throughout these score ranges. However, there are 3 other players that were able to shoot net sub-70s. First, we have John Beauchamp, who shot an 82, good for a net 68. Would like to make one little point. He only has one posting from Pine Needles. He posted an 85, not an 82. Maybe he forgot to put the competition round in. I mean, you know how that goes. The other, we have Jason Damiani, who shot an 83, good for a net 69. Same thing, only one posting. He posted an 84, not an 83. He might have just slipped up putting it in. And then we have Tyler Loenig, who shot an 85, good for a net 68. And, oh yeah, he's a soft cap that didn't post at all. I think you get my point. So yes, this is all fine and dandy, and maybe Taylor Hines is just a mutter that always plays his best golf when, typhoons are coming in. Well, I have one goal in this video, and that is to prove that Taylor Hines should have been at a bare minimum an 11.5 handicap index, just like his partner, because see, then he would have lost a shot. And did that shot matter? Oh, you better believe it, because on the 9th handicap hole, Taylor Hines' ball counted, and he was getting a stroke. If he wasn't getting one, well, they would have finished at 1 under instead of 2 under, thus eliminating their chances of qualifying for the Classic. So how am I going to do this? Well, first off, we need to go back in time. Back in 2018, where we can start to learn that Taylor Hines is no stranger to a net 64. In 2018, Taylor Hines was living on the island of Curacao, playing his golf at Curacao Golf and Squash Club, where he was raking in the Pro Shop credit. We see him here January 14th, 2018, playing in the B Flight. Big shocker, net 64. About a month later, February 13th, A Flight, net 63. A few days later, he won a Stableford event. Would love to know what his net score was that one. And then we see once again, October 7th, another net 64. I can only assume, I am speculating here, that he was deported from the island of Curacao, probably because of his potential sandbagging activity. Well, it's 2019. Taylor is back in the States, and he's ready for the Barstool Classic. He played with this giant lefty that looks like he could spin a football, probably throw it a quarter mile. What a stud. At Whiskey Creek Golf Club. Now, they did not qualify, probably because they're wearing long-sleeve shirts in the month of August. No clue what he shot at the Barstool Classic qualifier in 2019, but I do know he had a pretty good day in December. Chip, roll it.
That looked like the drive of somebody that just made a triple.
If you were listening, Taylor had just suffered a triple bogey, came right back, pounded one right down the left side of the fairway, and was able to shoot, in his words, a smooth 79. Now, let me tell you, there are no records of this guy breaking 80. And again, he has 0 postings of sub 80. 0. As we move to 2020, we see he once again is at a Barstool Classic qualifier with this giant stud that, God, he looks like a dual threat QB. They played at the Country Club of St. Albans, and they qualified for the Classic. Now, after doing so, they did finish 5 shots back at the actual Classic, but they won best dressed. More on that a bit later. After their fantastic showing at the Barstool Classic, he did have this post a few days later where he humbly brags about shooting an 81 while wearing 2 left shoes. Pretty impressive for an 11.9 index, I'd say. Either way, I have no idea what the Barstool Classic was using for their handicaps in 2019 and 2020 because Taylor Hines was non-existent on the GIN app. As far as I can tell, there are no signs of Taylor Hines posting any scores in 2019 and 2020. In fact, all of his 2020 scores that are currently on his record were posted in the month of June of 2021. Yes, he backdated 24 scores. Now, I don't know. Maybe he was switching accounts. I don't know what happened here, but something smells fishy. Look, if I'm going to get this 30 for 30 done in less than 10 minutes, I got to get moving. 2021 was his last year playing with this prototypical dual threat QB in the Barstool Classic. They did not qualify, but Taylor did get to sing the national anthem. Through the perilous fight. As we jump forward to 2022 and 2023, he didn't post a single score. Did he play any golf? Oh, you better believe it. 2022, he played with his current partner, Ryan Feldman, at Whiskey Creek Golf Club in the Barstool Classic Qualifier. Also found some interesting clips of him playing golf in 2022 where he's acting extremely cocky for an 11.9 index.
That's why. Any other questions?
Even complaining about a ball not going in a hole, but it's okay. He shot 76, and he wants everyone to know. He's not going to post it, but he wants everyone to know. It was at this point where I realized Taylor Hines spends his summers in Michigan and his winters in Florida so he can play golf all year long. See, in 2022, he's playing at the Tecumseh Golf Club, member guest. Now, they did lose their flight by a half point. Can't believe it, trust me. If you look right behind this gentleman's face here, oh, yep, there's his name. They lost by a half point, but rest assured, in 2023, oh, he won his flight. Again, no postings in 2022 or 2023. And yes, of course, he played in the Barstool Classic Qualifier. Taylor's a huge stoolie, if you haven't figured this out yet. They did not qualify. They played at Eagle's Nest in Toronto, Canada. Now, let's get to the present. Things got pretty dicey the day after the event. See, Barstool made a little post announcing the best-dressed winners. You'll never guess who they were.
Our PWR G4 outfit of the day winners. We're calling them Seabreeze. Oh, the Seabreeze boys. Congratulations.
Now, obviously, I couldn't help myself. I am a great fisherman. I saw this, so I just threw out just a little crankbait. Started reeling about this, and it took about 4 seconds till I got him. It was at this point where Taylor started posting scores like a crazy person. Now, he did have a 79, and he posted an 80 from a different course that I wasn't able to figure out. Then, after my little comment on the Instagram, before I went to bed, I checked, and what do you know? Another score, an 84, which was also from Pine Needles. Now, wouldn't you know it? He backdated those two scores, meaning that before the Barstool Classic Qualifier, he had these two other scores that should have been on his record. Now, I would like to preface, Barstool has this whole little thing like where we pick the handicaps sometime within 2 weeks of the event. It's like a big little mystery. We're going to pull them sometime. Well, either way, he didn't post those two scores because he knew they would affect his handicap and cost him a shot. Needless to say, when we get to Yip Strickler's handicap calculator for potential sandbagging rats, we see his lowest 8 differentials, what they should have been, would have put him under that 11.5 threshold that we talked about, 9 minutes ago it feels like at this point. At the end of the day, Taylor, you messed up. Did I possibly spook you and get you to post some other scores that then really proved that you should have got one less shot in the tournament? Yes, but you did it to yourself, man. You've been doing it for years. It's time. You're a good player. You don't have to do this. Be the bigger man, step down from the Barstool Classic, save Commissioner Riggs a bunch of work, just do the right thing. Because it's going to be a little bit worse for your character if I got to come forward with some of this other evidence that I'm holding on to right now. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. I was pretty nice to you in this investigation. I didn't mention once about your obsession with pinky rings. Put your pinky rings up to the moon. Look, I'm all about second chances. Let's start posting all your scores. All of them. I see you just posted, what is that, a little 81? That's another HMGS post, dude. It's too late. I already busted you. Now, let's turn this thing around. Let's start posting all our scores so that the next time you qualify for one of these things, you can do so with a healthy conscience. Now, Ryan, sorry we didn't talk about you much. I mean, you only contributed, one hole, but hey, somebody's got to be there to hold the camera while Taylor's celebrating. Mansion in the sky. She's 41. Oh, jeez, I'm so glad I'm done with this.